Our species has huge resources. We spend vast amounts of money on the military. We put amazing ingenuity into working out ways to destroy each other. Look at this grotesque act of vandalism that India committed with the explosion of nuclear weapons along the border with Pakistan. And the grotesque act of vandalism that our own governments and the government of America and Britain, just simply in maintaining these weapons of destruction, carry out. And the money that is put into inventing ways to kill fellow human beings. If we just shave off 1/10 of 1% of the amount of money that the Earth is presently spending on destruction and devote it to surveys of Earth-crossing asteroids and comets, this would be money very well spent. Nobody would be hurt by it. If we find that there isn't anything there that's going to hit us, so much the better. But I really believe it's worth looking.
I thought there was a department in NASA that was actually doing that.
NASA disposes of $13,000 million a year in its annual budget. It spends $1 million a year on asteroid surveys. This is pittance.
Okay. Do you think that we are reaching a time? I mean, I know that our orbit changes, doesn't it? We're reaching a time at the end of the millennium where the orbit we're going to be at the furthest junction from the sun or something. We're going to be on the, I'm not sure, but...
No, we're not at extreme eccentricity at the moment. I personally do believe that we're living in a very strange and interesting time. And it is a time when people are waking up and we're shaking off rigid patterns of thought and starting to be open to extraordinary possibilities. Many people now do ask themselves fundamental questions about what is the meaning of life? Why am I alive? What's the purpose of life? What does it mean to live on a planet, to be given this incredible gift of experiencing life on a planet? And what does it mean to possibly lose it all?
We're coming up to that time when all the planets are going to be in a line.
There will be an alignment of the planets on the 5th of May in the year 2000.
And is that going to give us any sort of problem with, I don't know?
The argument has been that the combined gravitational pull of 5 planets in a straight line with the Earth on the other side of the Sun could affect the orbit of the Earth, could cause the crust of the Earth to shift. I'm not sure whether that's right or not. I just think that, again, it's a sign of an awakening cosmic awareness that there's stuff going on out there that we really need to know about, and we've got to stop being blind and deaf to it.
What do you think the civilization on Mars was like? Do you think that it was a civilization like our own? Do you think it was...
I don't know whether there was a civilization on Mars. What I've tried to do in the book is show that we should be open to this possibility. Our scientists... great men like Carl Sagan, for example, do not regard it as a lunatic, the late Carl Sagan, unfortunately, do not regard it as a lunatic idea that there is life elsewhere in the universe. On the contrary, most reasonable objective scientists regard it as a lunatic idea to assume that we're the only form of life in the universe. So what a ridiculous, Earth-centered idea that is. If there's life here, there should be life elsewhere. So there's a tendency. I heard one of your listeners calling in just before I came in, who was saying that I don't know anything about this guy with the stigmata, and I don't really care either, but he was saying that that he must be a fraud because he talked about extraterrestrials. Well, I'm sorry, I don't get that. Talking about extraterrestrials is a perfectly reasonable thing to do. There are billions of stars like the sun, and around them are billions and billions of planets, and odds are on some of those planets there's life. We should be open to this possibility. There's a possibility that there was a civilization on Mars, and there's some intriguing evidence which suggests this. The tendency of most scientists up to now has been to dismiss that evidence, which takes the form of structures that look a bit like pyramids, an object that looks a bit like a face. May not be pyramids, may not be a face, may just be weird geology. There's some odd mathematical arrangements connecting these various objects, and quite frankly, if that mathematics came in a radio signal from deep space, every scientist in the world would say it was a sign of intelligent life.